Well, Ram Jammers, it's now 8 o'clock exactly here on Ram Jam Breakfast, and it's time for you to listen to the Natasha Watts interview. I spoke to Natasha last week. We had a lovely conversation. I'm going to bring that to you right now. But first of all, I'm going to kick things off with her brand new single, Born to be a Star.
Hey everybody, this is Natasha Watts, and I listen to Ram Jam Radio.
There you go, the amazing Natasha Watts and Cool Millionaire and Born to be a Star. Our latest release has only been out a couple of weeks now. We had it on the very first day that it came out and played it right here on Ram Jam Breakfast. I'm going to bring to you now the interview with Natasha Watts.
Hello.
Hello, Natasha. It's DJ Gloss from Ram Jam Radio. How are you?
Hello, DJ Glass. I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Had a very good morning, and I tell you, it's wonderful and a real pleasure to speak to you, and welcome to Ram Jam Radio, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us. We very much appreciate it.
Oh, don't be silly. Thank you for asking me, and thank you for the support. I mean, without it, it's the whole thing I'm doing is futile, really, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, and we love supporting you. But I did see you in January in Blackpool.
Blackpool, you was there.
I was there. Yeah.
Good.
Two people from the Ram Jam breakfast crew were actually in the room, and my producer said to me, she said, "Do you know? I think that's Natasha Watts dancing there." And she said, but I'm not sure. And then I think it was about 25 minutes or so later, you went up and did a PA.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people didn't know I was going to be there because it wasn't advertised, even though it was in the programme. It was more of they wanted to just sort of spring it on everybody. But the only disappointing thing is people didn't realise what time I was going to be on. So I had a lot of disgruntled people afterwards, like, I didn't know what time you was on and I missed you, and... You know, but it's nice to have that reaction, and the Blackpool thing was great. It went down really well, and the people that were there thoroughly enjoyed it, I think. Well, I hope.
We certainly did. We certainly did, that's for sure. And, that, to be honest, prompted us really to see if we could get to talk to you today, which has been really great, because... Love what you've been doing. Your latest one with Cool Million, got it the day it was released and played it on air that day. So, that was really good. You don't mind if I ask you a few questions sort of going back in time a little bit, do you?
No, of course not. I've just sort of walked away from my dog to make sure she doesn't bark.
Okay, that's no problem. That's no problem at all. We don't mind dogs barking.
Oh, I do.
Okay, fair enough.
Fire away.
Okay. Well, really, just wondering where it sort of all began with you, how it all started when you were younger, what sort of gave you the sort of drive into singing and all the other things that I've noticed now from reading your biography there that you do.
Right. Well, I actually trained as a dancer. I wanted to be a dancer, and my whole life was catered around musical theatre, and I was a typical ballet school, shall I say, girl.
Lovely.
And I knew I could sing, but I was singing musical theatre, so it's very different. And I got to 16, went to a couple of auditions, for Chorus Line and cruise ships, and because that's really what I wanted to do.
Yes.
But I'm 5'1", and they wasn't interested. So I had to kind of like hang up the jazz shoes and tap shoes, and it was then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to pursue singing because it doesn't matter how tall I am. Yep. And then I kind of realised that I could sing other stuff. I still love musical theatre actually, but I found out that I could sing other stuff, and my first sort of foray into singing was with Kurt Franklin, the family. I flew to America with Rem Lowry from Maze, Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, just got hooked up with those, which it came out of nowhere, really a chance meeting. Oh, she can sing, met this person, that person introduced me to that person introduced me to somebody else, and then that's how it went on. And then I met Rome, who flew me to San Francisco, worked with me for a bit, and then I stayed there out in the States for about a year.
Yes.
Honing my skills, and sort of came very, very close to signing to Columbia when I was 18.
Wow.
Just coming into my 18th year.
That's really good.
I came home, and it didn't pan out the way it was meant to, but because it didn't pan out, I ended up with the most amazing son in the world.
Well,
so,
that's great.
I took a different path, and I wouldn't be about him now. And truth be told, I think if I'd have stayed doing what I was doing, I may well have had a hit, but it may well have just been one hit, and then, you know, disappear into the oblivion, because I didn't know I could write then. I didn't know that I didn't really know my voice. You know, it does take a long time to learn your voice.
Yes.
And also the life experiences have taught me how to write, because you can't write if you haven't experienced. So,
absolutely.
You know, so all of my songs I write now, whereas before I would have been singing other people's songs. So,
well,
something to be said for that, I think.
That's a really great story, and I saw that you were with Rome Lowry from Maze, Frankie Beaver. He was a percussionist, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's one of the original members, and he does all the backing vocals. And I was with him last when they were over at Hammersmith. I think about 4 years ago now.
Wow, there you go. So, who were your childhood idols? Who were the people that you listened to?
There was only one idol, and that was Whitney.
Whitney, really?
I was a Whitney fanatic, you know. That was everything I aspired to be. She was everything I wanted to be and some, you know. And I remember having the original Saving All My Love For You album, you know, and I'd get the actual vinyl out, and I'd look at the cover, and I'd be like, oh, I want to be her, you know. But yeah, you know, that was who I originally, it was like I really wanted to sing all of her songs. But I think that's quite typical of that era, you know, that's sort of late 80s.
Yes.
You know, mid to late 80s growing up. But yeah, and then it just sort of, I've got lots of influences. But, you know, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, they're all favourites of mine.
Great names.
You know, Ella Fitzgerald, I love.
Wow.
I love all the oldies but goldies. I really, really do.
That's really great. I mean, so many people say that, and you know, have influences that go back sort of way beyond their own sort of years.
Yeah.
But usually, you know, what parents have played, or you know,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, my dad was a massive Benny King fan.
He was a DJ too.
Yeah, and you know, growing up, I grew up listening to from Bob Marley to Benny King to Doris Day, because my mum was English and Irish, and she had lots of English influence, and she loved country. So, you know, there's so much. I mean, I'm really rubbish at names, and I really do shoot myself in the foot sometimes, because I wish I knew more, but I don't.
No, that's great. I mean, because it shows you know, a very varied sort of musical background, which is, you know, that's really why I asked the question. And I knew that your father was a DJ. I'd seen that, so I just thought I'd ask a little bit more about that. Major inspiration in your life?
Wow, good question.
Who is your major inspiration in your life?
Oh, there's only one person, and that's who Born a Star's written about, and that's my mum.
Yes.
You know? She was and still is everything to me.
Wow. And also Time to Shine as well.
I did write Time to Shine about her. Time to Shine came about, 2 weeks after she passed away.
Oh, there we go.
So, that came from, you know, really, it's ironic that tomorrow is actually the 5th year anniversary of her passing, and 5 years ago tomorrow, I wasn't even singing. That's the irony of it.
Wow.
She, you know, I was fortunate enough that I got to spend a lot of time with her before she passed, and we knew that she was going to pass. So, you know, she had some very stern words for me. And, you know, I hope that I've lived up to everything she wanted me to do and more. You know, that's what's driven me. That's what's inspired me. That's what makes me, you know, get back up every day and try and be the best that I can be. And this industry isn't easy. If you haven't got a thick skin, you're going to fall by the wayside.
Yes.
If you can't take the criticism, just don't get into it at all. And let me tell you, there are lots of people that want to criticise.
Yes, agreed.
And you know, I couldn't have a better inspiration. And if I can be a quarter of an inspiration to my son, as she has been to me, then he'll be okay.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for sharing that with us. That was lovely. Thank you for that. The lyrics in Born to Be a Star are amazing.
Thank you.
They just took me exactly where you wanted to take the person listening to your tune, and talking about how the inspiration came, and I guessed it was from your mum, and just listening to how you talk about, how that influenced you, and how you reacted to that. It's there in the song, and it's lovely. It is amazing.
I just wanted to I obviously wanted to write a song about her that, could be included in the album, but I didn't want it to be a typical, oh, you're gone and I miss you. And, I didn't want that. I wanted a song that made you feel warm, made you feel good, made you, writing is therapy. I don't care what anyone says. And without writing, some of the stuff that I've gone through, I'd probably be a bit of a mess in the corner somewhere. So, to get that out and to try and get people to... I have had a great reaction to that song, and a lot of people have come through to me through my social media, because I really try and interact with everybody as well. And, not
we noticed,
sometimes you can't do it all, and sometimes people want you to be a little bit more aloof. But I like being approachable. I like... if someone wants to ask me something, I will try and reply to everything, no matter how time-consuming that can be.
I do.
And trust me, sometimes I kind of bite off more than I can chew. But, however, I've had a lot of people come back and say to me about the song and the lyrics, especially people that may have lost their mum, and they can really relate to it. And I think if you have lost your mum, you can relate to it. But even if you haven't, you can kind of pick up, like you said, where it's coming from and how it made me feel anyway, And if nobody likes it, to be honest, I wouldn't have cared, because I do, and it's my journal, it's my life, and that's a part of my life now that's encapsulated forever, and I love that.
That's really good. It's your phraseology, from the way that you raised me. It's the way that you say that, you sing that. It's the way people speak. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you said. It's not separate and talking about it from a sort of sad point of view. It's just talking about it, how people speak, and that's what I really like about it. That's a personal feeling, but that's what I really like about it. Love the way you say it.
I appreciate that. I'm not that articulate. I try, and a lot of songs, can have abstract lyrics, and it is what it is. That is how I speak, so I write how I speak, and I've tried the quirky stuff.
Carry on, because it's great. I love it.
Thank you.
And and I know that all my listeners do. And the first time I dropped your tune on the breakfast show, instant reaction coming back. We have a chat room which is instantaneous with the DJ. And the instant reaction coming back, love this tune,
Oh, that's good. And you know what? That's all I want. If my lyrics can touch somebody somewhere at some time, then I'm doing okay. That's all it is. It's just about being acknowledged for the art. It took a long time to get to this point, and I say that in the song, and it's not been through. It's not been a bed of roses, but that should be indicative of everybody's life. No one's like, well, unless you're really lucky. We've all gone through stuff to get to where we are. So, just to have acknowledgement that I'm on the right track and people like it, it means the absolute world to me. So thank you.
Went down extremely well with the listeners on Ram Jam Radio. Very well
Wonderful.
Indeed. And with Cool Million too.
Yeah, they're guys. They're lovely. Got to give a big shout out to them. They are just wonderful, wonderful inspirations to me to allow me to do what I'm doing. So, they've taken a punt on me, and I'm certainly going to repay them.
Well, they took a punt on the right person, I think, for sure. And one thing that we always say amongst the DJs of Ram Jam is Cool Million have never done a bad tune. Never.
No, they're great guys, aren't they?
They are fantastic. I play their Soulful House remixes in my house show on a Thursday, and I play some of your tunes there too. And I play the more soulful stuff on the breakfast show and on my soul show on a Saturday. And just whenever you play Natasha Watts and Cool Million, it goes down well. And everybody loves it.
Well, they're producing the whole album, so everybody is in for quite a treat. So,
Wow.
It's going to be one to watch. And can I just say, let everyone know that it is going to be coming September this year. We're hoping for it all to be signed, sealed and delivered.
Well, all of our listeners will hear that when this interview goes out on air, because I will leave that firmly in there for them to hear. I might even give it a bit of an amplifier so they can hear.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much.
No problem. And beyond that, can I ask you what your future plans are?
Oh, future plans. Future plans are just to continue to be happy, to continue to enjoy what I do, to continue to be lucky enough and fortunate enough to do a job that I love doing. And, more house stuff, lots more soul, finishing up the album, like I said. Hopefully more gigs this year in the UK. Last year there was lots abroad, but I'm hoping it to be more in the UK based. And, everyone can catch me on my website, www.natashawatts.me. They can catch me on Twitter, #NatashaWatts. On my social media, Natasha Watts. So, if they want to keep up to date, I run all of it. I am looking for help. But as it stands at the moment, I do run all of it. And so I see everything that comes in and goes out. That's that.
Wonderful. Sounds like a great philosophy, and enjoying life and enjoying what you do.
Absolutely.
I think, those are great aims, and not always aims that everybody has. So it's really, really fresh to hear that from you. That's great. That's lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to Ram Jam Radio that I haven't asked you, or you would like to let our listeners know?
I just want everyone to know how really, truly grateful I am for all the support, and if it can escalate beyond this, fantastic. But I am eternally grateful for everything. I hope that comes across. Without the support, like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't be anything. So if they really like it, let them tell their friends about it, and then hopefully their friends can tell their friends about it. And that's how it starts. So, yeah,
Marvelous.
Fingers crossed.
Can I, and I'm conscious we're using a lot of your time up, but could I ask you one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
Could you say for me something like, "This is Natasha Watts, and I listen to Ram Jam Radio," or something like that, so I can use it as a jingle?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody, this is Natasha Watts, and I listen to Ram Jam Radio.
That's perfect. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome. No worries. Thank you for your time, and I really enjoyed that. And my dog didn't bark.
That's really, really good. And thank you for your time. And, if you're doing anything in future you'd like us to let the Ram Jam listeners know about, please don't hesitate to email us or let us know through Twitter, because we love to know what you're doing. And if you've got a gig in London or in England, anywhere, I'm sure we've got listeners that would love to go.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, and I most certainly will. And I know that Anna keeps up to date with what I'm sticking out on Twitter, so
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll keep pushing the stuff. But thank you, honestly, I really, really do appreciate it.
We really appreciate you and all of your music. Thank you so much, Natasha Watts.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You have a great day too. Thank you now.
Bye.
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 Bye. Interview there with the wonderful Natasha Watts, and I've been so excited about bringing that one to air. And we've had tweets this morning from Natasha saying that she's listening to that interview on air. So thank you very much, Natasha Watts. So appreciative of your time with that interview. We're going to play Go Slow now, which is another tune from Natasha.
Precious face, it's glowing when there's darkness all around, and it makes me feel this way. Won't you come in closer to me now and feel my body's warm? The place our bodies one tonight. If you really feel it too, don't hold back no more.